And we are back with the third segment of the GSMC Sports Podcast, presented by the GSMC Sports Network. And in this third segment, we're going to be looking at James Harden breaking a record that was previously thought to be unbreakable for a very, very long time, and that is Ray Allen's record for total three-point makes in NBA history. Now, before Steph Curry, nobody really thought that this record was going to be touchable. And nobody really thought that no one thought that anyone would come close to hitting as many three-pointers as Ray Allen did. I mean, Ray Allen is one of the best three-point shooters in NBA history, despite the fact that James Harden recently passed him in total three-point makes. I still think that Ray Allen is a better shooter than James Harden. I mean, throughout his career, he's shot 40% from the three-point line, and when considering the years that he's played in the NBA, remember, he was drafted in 96, and he continued playing all the way till 2014, where he ended his season off in Miami. And in the early eras of basketball, the three-point shooting wasn't really all that popular. And with the combined efforts of Reggie Miller and Ray Allen as well, they sort of popularized it. Like, they sort of made it an effective shot. I think the Spurs, they also don't get nearly enough credit for introducing the importance of three-point shooting, because the Spurs, before any other team was doing it, was encouraging their players to hit a bunch of corner threes and be in the corner and get ready to shoot those threes, right? And while Golden State is definitely going to get a lot more credit than the Spurs, I do think that we should give credit to where it's due in the Spurs trying to start that movement a little bit first. It's just the league sort of didn't really catch on as quickly as when the Golden State Warriors started shooting a bunch of threes. Let me see. Okay, never mind. So I thought I got some breaking news and talking about basketball, but it's not really breaking news. It's just Tyrese Maxey reportedly calling out Joel Embiid. I have no idea exactly what the problem is going on over there, but I mean, Sixers have been absolutely awful. And that is James Harden's former team, but he ended up breaking this record as a Clipper, and he pulled up from the right wing and ended up reaching a career tally of 2,974 three-pointers, moving him out of a second-place tie with Ray Allen. And again, this was a record that nobody thought was going to be broken up until Steph Curry ended up joining the NBA. Not just joining the NBA, but like introducing his barrage of three-pointers and how many threes he's able to make. And one other thing that should be taken into account is the amount of games that it took Steph Curry to actually break Ray Allen's three-point record. He played significantly less games than Ray Allen has done throughout his entire career. And again, this is just a fantastic record to end up like surpassing Ray Allen in total three-pointers make. Is he going to pass Steph Curry? Most likely not. I mean, Steph Curry started Sunday with 3,782 made career three-pointers, which is almost 800 more than James Harden in total three-pointers made. In fact, James Harden himself, he was like, Steph Curry doesn't count. Like, when they were talking about total three-pointers made, and obviously, you know, the leader in total three-pointers made is Steph Curry. He said himself that Steph Curry does not count, which just goes to show you just how much of a, like, on a different level of playing field Steph Curry is compared to every other shooter in this league. And there's a very high chance that when Steph Curry retires, he's going to end with 4,000 three-pointers made. Very, very good chance that that happens. And this is also this isn't one of Steph Curry's, like, crazy master classes of a season. I mean, he's not averaging as many points as you would expect coming in from a phenomenal shooter like Steph Curry. It wasn't like one of those 30-point per game seasons that he's been having. From the last time I checked, I saw that he was only averaging like around 24 points per game, which it's not bad. Obviously, like, it's definitely not a bad points per game average for Steph, or like for anybody else in this league. But actually, he's averaging 23 points per game in this season. But for somebody like Steph, you have to think that is a little bit low in the scoring category. And James Harden, I mean, he hasn't been a much better scorer either, especially when you want to consider he did beat Steph Curry the other day. But again, this has sort of been a we sort of all know that James Harden is nowhere near the same player that he was when he was on Houston. He's only averaging 20 points per game, 7 rebounds, and 9 assists. Again, these are numbers that a lot of guards would dream for in the NBA. But compared to what he was on Houston, obviously he's not the same animal that he was. But again, breaking this record is definitely great. And he's going to be a Hall of Famer. By far, one of the best guards in this era of basketball. The only stain on James Harden's career is his lack of postseason success and the inability to make the NBA Finals. And a big reason why he was unable to make the NBA Finals was because he was forced to go up against Golden State and the juggernaut of a team that they were. I mean, having Kevin Durant and Steph Curry and Klay Thompson is nearly impossible to beat. He almost did beat them if Chris Paul did not get injured in that one series in 2018. But again, hindsight is 2020, and he's most likely only going to be remembered as a player that was able to do great things in the regular season, but just could not get it done in the postseason. But again, he's by far one of the best guards in today's NBA. So I just wanted to bring all of that to a lot of people's attention. He's not better than Dwayne Wade, though. I know a lot of people, they really want to think that he's better than D. Wade, but that's just not true. And this is going to be a little bit of a shorter third segment because I do want to get into the fourth segment, which is looking at the NBA and the power rankings, because that segment is probably going to be a little bit longer than the rest of the than this segment as well. And I want to make sure that I have a little bit of time so that way not only can I get to class on time, but also so that way I don't go over the limit of these segments. So we're going to go ahead and go into the fourth segment right after this short break. So be sure to stay tuned if you guys are interested.
For the best and latest podcasts available anywhere, go to the podcast app on your cell phone and type in GSMC to access free content-rich podcasts on health and wellness, book reviews, sports, entertainment, relationships, social media, movies, technology, finance, and even weird news. Subscribe and download the GSMC Podcast Network's family of shows, available everywhere podcasts are found.